Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Damien Marie AtHope. In the simplest terms, I am an atheist, humanist, philosopher, and prehistorical writer-researcher at DamienMarieAtHope.com. I am specifically an axiological atheist. An axiological atheism can be thought to involve ethical and value theory reasoned and moral argument driven apatheism, ignosticism, atheism, anti-theism, anti-religionism, secularism, and humanism. Axiological atheists can be understood as a value theory or a value science atheist. As an axiological atheism's ethically reasoned and constructive pro-humanity. I am an axiological thinker, value theorist. The science of goodness, worthiness, usefulness, valuableness, virtue, reliableness, accuracy, validity, morality, integrity, beneficialness, etc., etc. We axiologists have a value consciousness. And in general, we see the architecture of humanistic humanitarianism value in people that we see as dignity beings. Places and things are not. Axiology is a value theory. In its broadest sense, it involves areas of philosophy that are deemed to encompass some evaluative or evaluation aspect. Therefore, it crosses almost all domains in some way or another. Now for a more detailed terms as to what I am. I am an axiological atheist, an anti-theist, an anti-religionist, secularist, humanist, rationalist, writer, artist, poet, philosopher, advocate, activist with schooling in psychology, sociology, as well as I am an autodidact, self-taught in science, archaeology, anthropology, and philosophy. I promote science and am against pseudoscience, pseudo-history, pseudo-morality, things that are found in religion. I support realism, axiology, of course, liberty, justice, ethics. I am also an anarchist socialist. I support anarchism and socialism, progressivism, liberalism, philosophy, psychology, archaeology, and anthropology, advocating for sexual, gender, child, secular, LGBTQIA+, race, class rights, and equality. So if you can guess from all that, I support or challenge that I have an eclectic variety of videos on a variety of topics. Please take time to check them out, as well as if you enjoy them, please give them a like. And don't forget to subscribe, as new things are on their way all the time for my channel.
Always say so. Even if you don't, well, my point is, you can edit how you want to. Always give me everything.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I mean, unless there's something like I'm okay if you say something and you go, "All right, Damien, this can't be on." That's fine. Because
Right.
I mean, sometimes shit happens. So
yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I want it all, because sometimes even like the people say, "Oh, we're just rambling." No, not to me, because I feel like I'm always thinking about deep shit. So anytime I talk, it's almost, to me, I want it to be written down, because I mean, seriously, that's why I won't talk to people without recording it, because I know that too much good shit gets lost if.
Oh, that's true.
I'm like, because as you know, it's not. I don't know stuff because I've read 10,000 books, which I've read 10,000 articles, but that's actually not why I think exactly the way I did. I thought the way I did first, and then found, not intentionally, but found validation that, holy shit, this is the better way anyways. And not even like my political opinion about better, but actual learning history like I have. I mean, I know more about prehistory than really anybody as a whole. like as a whole unit that flows together, dude, nobody. There's not an archaeologist in the world that can stand up to what I know. And a couple have tried. And they very quickly realized, holy shit, not only is Damien super understanding of the evolution of religion, he has a whole bunch of this prehistory shit down, even to the point that archaeologists are going to use my ideas to go do research. I already know this for a fact. They're going to steal my ideas hardcore from my book. I mean, they're going to go, it's like the Holy Grail, man. What the hell? How did one person figure all this shit out? But that's people.
I mean, I was just going to say, the information is out there, right? Like, you can find it if you look for it, and you can draw the connections.
well, because some of it is like overproduction in a sense, like capitalism does sometimes. Like, you get so much that what has to happen, you have to sell it at a low cost, right? Because you have too much. Yeah, it's because it's overburdening your, say, warehouse, and so now you can't make stuff that's sellable because now you have limited room or where. It's capitalism with all kinds of problems. I don't want to go into that. But my point was the same thing with ideas, though. We get so much. That's why I'm still good at that compared to a lot of people. I think like really big, so big in the sense that everyone else is like talking down here, and I'm looking at the top down at everything that's happening, sort of like different, where everyone is living their own sense existence, and I'm seeing all the existences and how they not only interact with each other, but as a whole, what the group is sort of doing. It reminds me when people think, oh, look at space, it's one random, say, star or planet. Yeah, but have you ever seen the big picture of space? Dude, it's like one connected, flowing thing.
Right, yeah. It all comes out of a specific spot, and like, yeah. And everything that happens affects another thing that happens, and yep.
In fact, do we know, this goes back to something that always irritates me about lack of big picture thinking like I do. So a lot of people say things sometimes, like say anarchism. A lot of things anarchism says, totally agree with. But then you tell me the why, and I'm like, that's not exactly the why, or what I would agree with as the why.
Right.
Clearer thing. Just like I said, to me, for me personally, I don't understand how you can be an anarchist and support, say, capitalism. It just, to me, anarchism should be, to me personally, and like I said, I'm not even saying that I can justify, because I haven't read enough anarchism, but just me as I feel it naturally in myself. I don't know, this whole thought of my own fucking freedom and no one telling me what the fuck to do.
Yeah. And
especially the fact that no one telling me to do that I have to do without my control. Oh my God, do I hate that.
Yeah.
That to me is like just vile.
That's why like capitalism and anarchism are actually opposites, right?
I try to tell people that. That's why I call them anarcho-fakers. I won't even call anarcho-capitalists a real anarchist.
Yeah.
They go, I'm an anarchist too. I'm like, you're not. But anyways, thanks for trying. You know,
I appreciate
on the thinking, and then you'll get there.
Yeah.
Because I always say, I love saying this too. I think all socialist anarchists should say this shit to the capitalists. I always say, dude, why are we acting like we're fighting them? Dude, they are already sort of thinking our way. We can actually get them to come over. And so to me, I always try, like I do with the religious people, my thing is not to fight them in a sense. I really try to educate them and enlighten them. And they always go, oh, you're trying to do something. No. I'm trying to get you to reason. That's it. I know I don't have to do the rest of the work. Reason is a great fucking tool for our own brain. A logical mind following reason should reach a reasonable, which would be somewhat similar path, right?
Yeah. Following the same evidence, you should come to at least a similar conclusion.
Right. That's why I always laugh when people say, oh, there's no real morality. And I go, yeah, that's a lie. That people with the pseudo morality, well, I'm fucking saying. Let me tell you something. Do you have any in your heart, any confusion that helping starving people is a good behavior? Do you? Seriously.
Right, exactly. There are things that are objectively good, right?
Right. So this is axiology in general. Axiology, it doesn't look at the big picture. It hates generalizations because that misses all the detail. Right. And imagine if science did this. we like to think this way. I mean, not science, of course. I don't want to say idiots, but non-thinking people are very fond of generalizations. Why? Because it doesn't require thinking.
Right. Yeah. It's easy to ignore certain things.
Or because people love to go, Damien, I see your, card you give out, and there's like 30 different things on there that you are. And I'm like, I'm a lot.
Yeah, that's right. The labels I attach to myself are many.
Yeah, like if I didn't explain all that, you would be very inaccurate in understanding me. So I try to make sure that you understand there is no one word that describes me except human.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's a lot of variety.
So, and even each of those labels, if somebody needs to ask, like, yes, I will explain what that means.
Oh, I always, for me personally, and I don't think everyone should have to. First off, I'm an activist, so, and my whole life is activism. It's like people are like, well, what do you do for activism? I live my life, and every part of it is practically activism. Right. I don't like every moment. People always think that they have this misconception of me that I'm an extrovert. Not, I'm a sociopath. Meaning is I like doing fucking crazy shit because I just like doing crazy shit. It has nothing to do with me wanting to save the world. Now, I also want to save the world. And save the world sociopath is an interesting thing. Because now you have a person who will do almost fucking anything and also cares. Whew, that's an interesting person.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, very few limitations and very high desire to make change happen. But like I said too, that to you, that I wanted to have our discussion on green anarchism or eco-anarchism, or in a sense, and there's also a thing called Anarcho-Naturalism. They're kind of all, to me, different words, same shit, whatever. People always like to make labels for stuff, but I'll just say my own opinion, because I already was doing this, in a sense, thinking this, but I didn't know that it was all anarchism shit. I eventually realized that, wow, anarchism, this is another thing people think. Anarchism is some kind of like just one little label. I hate the state or something. Like, wow, you need to be educated because it's a hell of a lot more than that.
Yeah, there's lots to it. There's
a lot to it. The real ones, not that fake shit. I would even read the anarcho-capitalism or whatever. Yeah. Well, first off, it's already a logical fallacy, so why the fuck would I even care? I just say it's wrong. Right. I don't need to study wrong deeply, Got it.
Yeah.
So, but
I can be wrong without their help.
Yeah, well, exactly. I don't need to focus on being wrong. But I think it really, what it does is it gives people the easy out, because you get to say, hey, I don't have to be involved in politics, and so that you've removed yourself from this responsibility to care, right? That's how I hear when I hear anarcho-capitalist. And then that I have the desire to take all I want.
Mm-hmm.
Now, both sound very fucking selfish. One is I don't want to have to be involved in the system, and I don't want to be involved in politics or care about what is happening. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Because I don't hear much humanity in the anarcho-capitalism support for things. And then I hear, seriously. But so then I mean, how many of the anarcho-capitalists would you say are, I don't know, social justice champions?
Not
right?
too many.
Yeah. So since I classify good people as generally people that would, if not do social justice, certainly support them, care for them, and believe in people that do them. How's that? Yeah. And how many anarcho-capitalists can say that they do that? So to me, the evidence is simply already in your ideology to show that it's not a good ideology.
Yeah.
You can say you believe it, and I will keep saying, yeah, and it's not good. Well, anyways, so speaking of good, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be bashing on them. I'm just saying logically, check it out. Is it good? Because I like good things.
Right. Exactly.
That's why I said, first, someone told me I was an anarchist. I didn't know, because I didn't go read and shit. I was just doing my life, which is whatever the fuck I want, but in a good way. I mean, people think that like somehow I'm some asshole. I don't. I just, if I want to wear makeup, I'm going to do it. If I want to do my beard red, I'm going to do it. If I want to, I don't care that it bothers you.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Now, things that do matter, like I don't call people, names or put people down generally.
Right.
But that's about my character. And that is something that I believe highly, because once again, I try to be a good person. And that's why, to me, I don't like bad behaviors. And so one of the bad behaviors I think is humans do in general, and what bothers me as an anarchist, is our oppression of the environment. I see a lot of anarchists feel that fascism is bad. Totally agree with you. I'm 1,000%. Fucking hell, fascism. But I also see that how can we pick out one issue when our whole lives is, in a sense, to me, struggle? And that how can we, and then in a sense, singular and remove ourselves, what, from the environment? What the fuck kind of a crazy bullshit anarchism would that be?
Yeah, no, that's
right. That somehow the human is not attached to the environment. So we can somehow have no responsibility at all. Now I hear the other end of that. To me, I think is sometimes can go too far, but I don't agree that it's always too far, is that anarcho-primitivism. Now, anarcho-primitivism says that they want to go live indigenous. Rock on, dude. That sounds awesome. I almost would do that. But when you say everyone has to do it, wow, all I hear is fascism.
Right. Yeah. and I'm not super well versed in primitivism, but what stuff that I have seen, like the idea that we can remove technological advances that help disabled people,
like me,
and still expect just like the survival of the fittest, I guess, is the idea. I don't agree with it, right?
Well, to me, is that good? Is it good?
Yeah,
I'm saying, is it good to remove beneficial things? Are you, once again, you know what good is? Like, I can say helping people is good, right? We can always agree on this, no matter who you are. That's why I was seeing it's absolute bullcrap when people are like, oh, we don't know what the truth is. Or lies. Quit the master's been talking out of your mouth again. Stop that shit. Because we do know what the fucking truth is. Just like I said, I can fucking show you the truth real quick in the fact that, do you not agree that it is good behavior to feed the fucking starving? See, because you have to say is, you know, anyways, like I said, it's so hard for me to talk to people sometimes, and I really do try not to be mean. I just understand stuff, and people say things, and I'm like, oh my God, really? Dude, seriously? Does your brain like hear even like you? I always try to do this maybe to myself, just so you know. I mirror myself in a sense. I hear my own words. Sometimes I speak them out loud, just so I can think about: is this right? Is this accurate? Is this good? Is this beneficial? All axiology things. So the environment in anarchism. Could you tell me first, just your own personal thing as you as an? How do you feel? Because I always love that. What's your own not? Theoretical.
Right.
Christians. I get the biggest problem talking about religious people. All I want to hear is what you, watch out, personally believe. Don't recite 10 shit. Just tell me what that 10 shit means to you personally. I don't know why it's so. They want to like read me scripture. I'm like, hey, I don't want to hear that bullshit. What I'd like to hear is what you think about it. That would be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
But go ahead. So give me your thing on anarchism and sorry,
and the environment,
anarchism, environment, and all the things we talked about. Sort of,
Yeah, I think that an anarchist, like the idea that we would remove profits from production would make a lot of difference in the environmental side of things, because a lot of corners are cut, a lot of chemicals are used, a lot of things are done in the name of profits in order to to say maximize profits, but without regard for the well-being of the environment.
Totally agree with that. It's disgusting, really. I would say worse than that. It's absolutely unethical. But to me, they're harming the environment and everyone. It's because you're harming also future generations. It's not even like current harm, which is happening. Right. Current and future harm. How can that not be unethical? Seriously.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I know that a lot of people on the left or in the environmental movement are against genetic modification of food, but I find that in it of itself isn't a bad thing. It's the way that it's being used by the capitalist structure that makes it a bad thing. Because
I agree with that. I was going to make one point. So, like, I know that some people get a big issue about them. First off, it's all been modified. If you should see what their shit's been.
Oh yeah, yeah.
10,000 years ago, like
Yeah.
it's a little tiny watermelon, you know, and it was sour and green or something. I mean,
Right.
can't remember exactly, but something like that. It's there's a whole bunch of, I think corn was a little tiny thing too. Everything
Bananas
was like,
wouldn't exist the way they do.
yeah, they were also like they think this big or
Yeah.
something. Everything. So it's also, I feel it's an anti-scientism or anti-intellectualism
Right.
that happens in some of the left. But let's not even go there. The fact that it's still the point is that they do make a valid point on some of the things. That's why I have to about vegans. I don't agree with everything vegans say, but some of the things is valid. The problem is they put too much together that's not also valid.
Right.
But to make your point, and first off, I'm also universal. So when you start using universal and then switch back to situational and then go to universal and back to situational, no, that is not work. But because you're violating your internal, contradiction or violation of logic when you do that. But so the point is, though, there is a valid point about the thing. So I agree with you. What they do is they sell like the rights to the seed.
Right, exactly.
So they have to rebuy it or whatever. Instead of, I would totally be fine if it was just genetically modified. They give it to the farmers, and everybody in the world can just have this, great thing, and then it spreads everywhere for free. Well, that's totally Damien. But no, they want you to have to rebuy it every, season or year, or every so often.
Yeah.
I get the whole thing. But I was like, oh my God, that's so fucking capitalism and bullshit at the same time. Always.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And it's also like some of the way that like the chemicals are used, they do a thing called burning off the crops at the end, where like you'll spray Roundup before you go in and do your seeding to get rid of all the weeds, right?
Right.
And then you'll grow your crops, you'll fertilize, whatever, you'll spray with other chemicals to keep pests away and help with disease and fungus. But then you'll also, at the end, when you've done your harvest, you'll spray again so that you can burn off the excess growth. And this is a lot of chemicals that you're spraying into the ground, right? Like,
oh yeah, definitely. Well, first off, I think that some of those things like Roundup probably should be illegal. I mean, as far
Roundup is pretty rough,
because I think one time, so first off, here's one of the issues I have with it, just so people know. I've eaten berries and shit in the wild, like out in the thing. It's a starving person, okay? And sometimes they spray that fucking Roundup shit or whatever on bushes. And I've eaten berries before and almost fucking got sick as fuck because of that shit. I'm eating fucking Roundup on accident. I'm just saying, it really fucking pisses me off when they do that shit, because poor people should be able to fucking eat. And that's one of the things that I want. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I drive through a rural area every day when I'm going to my job. And you can tell when somebody has sprayed their crops because you're driving down the highway and you get that chemical smell coming. And I'm not saying that all the chemicals they spray are necessarily harmful or toxic to people in regular decent doses, but it's
but here's the point that you just made, but I wanted to real quick. Shouldn't we though?
Right.
Shouldn't we? How effort are we putting to making sure that, that's all I was trying to say. I'm not saying don't spray the crops. I'm spraying, can we figure out, we have science, some shit that, I don't know, can both do the job and not fucking hurt everybody, including bees and other animals. And I know we can do better than this. And I don't feel like, once again, we don't try, because you know what? Roundup is probably cheap. And cheap is good for capitalism. And capitalism doesn't make new products that are expensive when you got cheap.
Yeah,
but if we, I agree with you, if we actually say, hey, we care about the world and our people in it and animals too, what the fuck are we doing, destroying everything without even trying to do better? And so I would say to these companies, you want to say that you're a good company? Show it to us. Show it to us by trying to produce products that do not care about price as much as they care about help and lack of harm.
Yeah, exactly.
So go ahead. But
I guess the other thing, and I don't necessarily mean to pick on Roundup here. I know it's a very widely used product, right? And because you have crops that are genetically modified so that it doesn't kill them, so that they're called Roundup Ready, right? They're resistant to the pesticide.
Right.
And so then this has ended up with weeds that are becoming resistant through evolution. So you're actually creating super weeds by doing this broad thing that, like, you think is good for one thing, but
right. And of course, what is the problem with super weeds? People are like, oh, who cares? Well, let's just say that he's correct, right? The super weeds happen. They don't stay, I don't know, where they belong, right? They're super weeds, and they're gonna spread everywhere.
Ecology is about balance.
Yeah, and start ruining everything.
Yeah, ecology is about balance. If you have a super weed that can grow and is resistant to a chemical that other things are not resistant to, then it's going to take over. That's why they don't want you to introduce new plants from other regions to an area.
Yes.
So.
Well, yeah. Well, and so why should an anarchist care about all that super weeds or whatever? Why should we care?
Well, I guess because we believe in good things.
Don't you see how really my anarchism is so much simpler in a sense because it's always in a sense close to what's accurately true, and it also is easy to remember and use. So to me, that's all first off with all my stuff, by the way. I've invented the hammer of truth, a way of using, philosophy. Yeah, I don't need that. I invented that for everybody else. Now, not saying that it was from my wife's thinking that I turned into philosophy, but it still wasn't for me. I already could do that shit naturally. I don't need to do that. But I actually would say, though, even me with the weighability, dude, this makes my life easier using that tool. And so, I mean, I don't seriously, and I feel like everybody blows it off like it's no big deal. Dude, this will make you more powerful than any philosopher you've ever met in a day.
Right.
Not a year, not a month, in a day. That's how good my shit is and how simple it is. And you just follow steps. 1, 2, 3. And what happens is people try to interrupt you. You just go back to 1, and you just go back to 1. It's like a grinding machine against bad ideas. But anyways, so I want to hear more of the good ideas of anarchism you have in the environment. So what did you say some of your anarchist solutions? You said you have some of the problems.
Well, so, I would think that if we could remove the profit motive, that would make a huge difference right off the bat.
Okay,
right?
So that's one, profit motive, which I totally agree. We have to do people before profit. It also, I would say, our world or environment, because like I said, people do not exist outside of the environment. So what the hell? I mean, how could you not?
Yeah. If we're forced to be in a situation where the profit motive is there still, then we have to, as a society, as a community, we have to kind of be incentivized to stop doing the things that corporate products want us to do, right? Like, instead of buying Roundup Ready crops or whatever, buy other things, and I'm not necessarily, I don't necessarily think that voting, quote unquote, voting with your dollar works very well, but if enough people can do it, but that, I mean, again, that's hard too, right?
Well, I know I have a bunch of, obviously people that are radicals that are friends or like me. And sometimes they get mad because I say, I'll go to Walmart, I'll go to whatever. I still call Walmart a piece of shit, how they treat the people and the fact that how they treat other companies and stuff. But I'm still fucking poor too. And I really hate this. Like, to me, the master talking out of your mouth. Oh, a poor person putting down another poor person. Does that sound like something an anarchist would do, or a fucking
sounds like classism to me?
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
So to me, I just think that we have the wrong opinion. Some of the things that we hate, I'm just saying, some of the anarchists you are talking with the fucking master in your mouth, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Just always put it like me. Go outside of yourself and look at the thing. Does this match, like on a scale? Does this match heavy on anarchism or heavy maybe not?
Right.
And if you start looking at it and thinking, the same with like the environment for me. Like I said, I don't even understand an anarchist that doesn't see a need to associate the environment with anarchism. What the fuck is this some, I think it's a problem. It's like you have a theoretical human that exists like in fucking space or something and doesn't somehow interact with other people or animals or their environment. And you call that anarchism. What? Dude, that's like fantasy world.
Right.
Let's come back to the real world. Everything we do affects everybody around us. Here's the clue, though. We need everybody, so we have to have people around us. Bam.
Yeah. I mean, the environment is kind of fundamental to humans' survival, right? So
it is.
If we want people to be okay, we have to have a good relationship with the environment.
And once again, when you said okay, so what does okay mean? Well, to me, I always tell people more clear than okay. Human flourishing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Human flourishing is not happening currently. Would you not agree? Fuck no. I don't think most people would say, no, I think we're a downturn, more like it, you know.
People on the opposite side of me politically would also still say that human flourishing is not happening.
Right, they would. So we both can agree that our current system, no matter where in the world, and we can look back at the last 5,000 years of this horseshit of statism, and let me tell you, there's not been a point that statism has truly been good for all. And some of these, this goes back to my series here. I try to be really nice to archaeologists because I want to say to archaeologists, I appreciate you, anthropologists appreciate you, and ethnographs appreciate you. But I also pissed at you motherfuckers for fucking being like supporting of imperialism. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
It is like vile. I hear you talk about women that get raped in fucking Roman shit. Like these Romans took the women like that. Yeah, let's talk how they really did. They fucking raped them. They tortured them. They cut their fucking breasts off. They made them. They burned their children alive. Yeah, let's talk about the real shit. I'm fucking sick of this. Oh, the great Roman. It was so wonderful. He was just such a good ruler. He was a fucking evil tyrant. There's not a Roman leader that wasn't an evil tyrant. I don't know. Did they support a slave system? Yeah.
Yeah,
did they fascism crush through every fucking culture they could? Yeah. So fuck you and the Roman bullshit. Sorry.
No, you're right.
I'm just saying, man, it really, I told this one person, I said, you know what I want to hear? You guys want to say, because this is the problem I feel with some of they'll say as an archaeologist, oh, I care about indigenous communities. Okay, did you care about the European indigenous communities that the Romans fucking slaughtered? Because when you talk about those indigenous communities the Romans slaughtered, you said, oh, the great Roman legion, it went through and it championed, Western civilization. Like, oh, you mean it slaughtered innocent people that were minding their own fucking business?
Yes, exactly. And that framing of the great Roman Empire, like that is a mentality that perpetuates itself through other writings.
Russia.
It
means Caesar. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was talking about Rome. So it's a good point you made. Don't think that when most people make their system, in a sense, they like that Roman shit. Yeah. Well, Roman was also, just so you know, the one that really went down on the breast thing. They're really anti-women, pro-man.
Right. Yeah.
They said that the women's breasts in public was disgusting. So you're still doing, if you think women's boobs shouldn't be in public, fuck you, because that's bullshit from Rome. And I'm sorry, the master does not talk out of my fucking
mouth. No, you're right. We see the same mentality. Imperialism in general, it's the same mentality throughout history and up till today when we see Israel and Palestine and the US empire. It's history repeating itself.
Well, even Great Canada, right? Great.
Oh yeah,
Canada. Yeah, that fucking hurt the Indians too. So fuck off. Yeah, but I will say that don't you guys acknowledge indigenous people's ability to be part of your system? I think. Where I don't really think America's even done that yet.
I don't want to give us too much credit as a country because indigenous peoples have had to fight for every inch that they got.
I wasn't. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to give any props that don't do because
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I totally. That's why I started by saying, yeah, you mean how you've oppressed the indigenous people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
But
definitely a problem.
well, this is I think one of the issues in general, like the environment. That, like, do you know? I think it was 1970. I don't know, something 73, 6. I can't remember now, or something like that, where the Australian government declassified the indigenous people as fauna, like wild animals.
Right.
Like,
It wasn't
not humans and shit.
Yeah. That's
What
not
the
that long
fuck?
ago.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Not even human, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh yeah, well we're America, or Western civilization's done so good. You're like, oh, you mean since what, the 40s or 50s or no 70s? Not now, because later, because when?
I find it really odd to say that Western civilization has been responsible for all these advances when we did it by oppressing so many other peoples. Like how much could we have contributed if we had all been working together instead of one group dominating another group? Like it's absurd to me to think that we wouldn't be light years ahead.
It just like capitalism. I mean, I'm fucking smarter than fuck, and guess what? Most of my life I've been poor and not been utilized in any way at all.
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with our world, dude? That somebody that's fucking can help is not, because I'm poor and I always been poor. If I've been rich, I already been famous. That's what's fucked up. They go, oh well, if someone's given a chance, I've been given plenty of chances. People know about me. Why the fuck am I not famous? Oh, and also I say shit people don't like the rich, because I tell them to go fuck off, you know, and tell them that you're not a good rich person if you don't help. Period. Done. Fuck you. I mean, I just don't give a fuck. But it's not because I'm trying to be mean. I'm just, somebody has to fucking care enough to tell people this is fucked up. No one wants to hear this shit's fucked up. I don't either. But please, if I do something that is seriously fucked up, call my ass out.
Yeah.
And if I have a problem with it, tell me. What the fuck? Don't let the master talk out of your fucking mouth. Because if I have a problem with being corrected, that's not Damien. That's somebody.
Right. And I think we're seeing a lot of young people who are more outspoken about caring about how fucked up things are. Like, I don't know. I don't see a lot of people in their 40s, my age, doing this, but I see a lot of people in their 20s doing this, you know? So maybe.
I'm totally against ageism, by the way. That's one of the reasons, actually, I finally just could not bear to listen to Bill Maher another fucking minute. Was his
one of the many reasons.
Well, yeah, I wasn't limiting it. Don't get me wrong. It was not limiting my irritation with him.
Yeah.
I'm saying the thing that I could not hear another minute of him digging on fucking young people, and just like,
yeah,
dude, shut the fuck up, asshole.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly,
dude. People are quiet. I've learned from animals that don't talk. So when people say you can't learn from children, I guess stupid people don't learn from children, because I learn from children all the time. Dude, I learned from a child how to look at life, man. The child wakes up, they don't wake up like I do with fucking PTSD and fucking emotions and tired and feeling irritated. They wake up, hey, you know,
yeah, that's right.
1,000,000 miles an hour, and life is wonderful, and there's so much new shit to figure out and think about and do and play and whatever. That's not how I wake up, man. And so,
yeah, I hear that.
right? I wake up, oh fuck, another
I
day.
gotta get out of bed again.
Oh,
yeah.
But like I said, so I feel like that. Aren't I missing out? Because is my way really correct? I feel like shit, so I don't think my way must be correct. It's also what I don't like too, when I hear some people like, I like really hardcore rap, especially it's like, you know, anti-racism and shit. And sometimes they will put down, but I feel this is a main problem in general. Like a hardcore person will put down someone they think is not as hardcore, even though they're still doing good stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't do that. I'm pretty fucking hardcore. I mean, let's see. I do everything for free. How many people do that? I gave everything for free since 2006. So what is that? 15 fucking years of free? And I got a lot of shit. You're seeing that my list of how much shit I've produced. Dude, I got blogs for like years practically. I mean, you could read for the rest of your life practically all the shit I put down.
Right.
But I don't try to use that as some sort of a classism to make me superior to people that are helping just a little. You know what I do with people helping just a little? I say thank you, because we need all the help we can get.
And everybody is only capable of doing what they're capable of doing.
Yeah. Like, so I mean, I'm just making a point. I do not like classism. When I hear classism, I think the same thing every time, no matter the type of classism. The master is talking out of your mouth. If you say the young people, the master's talking out. You say that these women, master's talking out of your mouth. You say these gay people, the master's talking out of your mouth. You say these poor people, the master's talking out of your mouth. But I also feel like we need to get on the left that when we hate some people just because they're bigots and we don't try to help, we are letting the master talk out of our mouths. And the fuck if I'm going to let that happen. I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah,
fuck
that's a fair statement.
Think of this. Is it not better to put a candle or turn on a light than just sit there and curse at the fucking darkness? If your only thing is to fight what is evil but not add any good, I still think you need to work on yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I was listening to something the other day and they were talking about the idea, like the host of the show doesn't like the guillotine meme. Like we don't want to enact violence upon the people who are currently in the ruling class.
I agree with that.
You know, and I find myself even I'm almost halfway in between at this point, because I'm like, well, but is there a way to do this without enacting violence upon these other people?
Yes. And let me stop everyone at the pass, because I already have it. Be their friend. Period. Nothing will make a person more convicted to help you than if they are your friend.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Nothing. If you want to inspire people, you do it by kindness. Dude, I have people all the time that promote me everywhere I go. Anywhere that experiences me starts promoting me without me even asking. People will just like, Damien's wonderful, and check out his stuff. I'm not telling them nothing. Yet they do this. The reason it keeps happening to me, it's not some freakish thing, is because of the same exact reason. I treat people as if they matter. I treat them as if they are a person of value, not mattering if they're homeless, and I don't care if they're a fucking billionaire. I treat them as if they matter. The same. The only thing I say different for a billionaire and a homeless person is the billionaire better not expect me to be as caring as I am to the homeless person, because the billionaire is not in need,
right?
But the homeless person is.
Yeah.
So I will quickly change my time to help a homeless person. I will not quickly change my time to help a billionaire. That's me.
Which is the opposite of many other people.
Yeah, but billionaire says he needs my attention. I'll say, yeah, I'll get to it when I am available. If a homeless person says they need my help, I will try to drop everything I can to help.
Yep.
So, but then again, I'm a good person. And that's what I push more than even anarchism. All I just say is that people understand that generally being an anarchist is being a good person. So that's why it's not hard for me to feel both.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, yeah. I don't know.
well, you do though. So the whole point is that it's all in a sense connected. That's why I said, to me, if you understand, like the person itself. So that's why I also have a problem with them. I'm a collectivist, but I'm not like delusional that we're somehow a group of people. There is no actual thing as a group of people. In fact, you don't even have the same shared experience as me right now, doing the same exact behavior. Thinking that they're talking openly towards about the same things, it's still not the same experience. Yeah. Your experience of me will be a little bit different because of a whole bunch of things. And the same with me. I experiencing you different than you would in a sense experience maybe you. See what I'm saying? In the same if we switch things. So this really tells me that I got to keep remembering it's always the individual.
Right.
And that's why I care about the littlest person. That what we forget about the person at the bottom actually is hurting the whole thing.
Yeah.
That one person does matter. And
Yep.
especially to me as a person who's intersex, in a sense, I don't have any community other than other people that are different like me that are intersex. But there's no intersex person that's the same because we're like all different variations. So even then we're isolated and alone because no one has the exact, in a sense, genital setup. Well, maybe there could be people in the world. I shouldn't say that. But yeah. Okay. Because this intersex is natural. Yes, there's obviously someone who has exactly probably what Damien has. But what I'm saying is it's not super common. Let's just say it's
right.
like, 1/10 of a 1% or some bull crap in the world has exactly what Damien is. So where it's like you're a male, right? So you're a male. There's half the world's male. In a sense, if you're a female, half the world's you. Even if everyone else is against you, half the world's still for you.
Right.
And even if you're a race or a color or something, or even if you're gay. There's a lot of gay people. But when you're not only an intersex, which is a very small amount, like 1%, then even the intersex people, nobody really relates to each other because it's another thing too. Like, say if there's a female intersex, she relates to being a female, but also a male. Well, I can kind of relate to her, but my experience is more male, who's also female, so mine's more of a
right. It's
what I'm saying. Even then, it's so it's. I'm just saying, which is kind of a sense people also. It's kind of like trans in a sense. Trans people have that similar, but they feel they're in a different person in a different body or whatever. I feel fine in my body. It's just my body's not fully male and my mind is not fully male, and I'm fine with both those.
right.
But
I was just gonna say, like, I think it goes back to the idea, like, often collectivists get like strawmanned as believing that everybody is exactly the same when we firmly believe in individuality. Like, we just don't believe in individualism as an ideology, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought it is an ideology. So what I would say is it's not a highly ethical one.
Right.
It is an ideology.
It is indeed.
So is fascism. Not a very ethical one, though.
Yeah.
So to me, that goes back, like I said, I want to be a good person. So if I'm a good person, because see, I'd like to be an individualist. Seriously, as much as I'm an anarchist, dude, I'm telling you. You know how I don't like people telling me what to do almost anything. Right. It immediately, in fact, I blocked someone recently, and I know that maybe they didn't realize it, but to me, what they said was, because I've been posting some of which I like to do, they don't understand, it's not for me. Everything I post online is for you, not for me. Me, I would be home not talking to anyone because I don't give a fuck. I'm not being mean, I'm just making a comment. As a sociopath, I do not have a need to connect with humans. I like having sex with women. I like having a few friends. Like us talking, I need this.
Right.
But like thousands of people and shit, I don't even want that, is my point. So they get this. Everyone doesn't understand. I feel like they don't understand me in general online. I tell them all the time. It is 100% activism. If I'm even saying cool, there's nothing. Everything I'm doing on there is to try to help the world. Everything. Yeah. I use me as a mode to get you to feel personal about all these issues. That's all.
Yeah.
We need to have intersex rights. So I talk about intersex, not because I need to. And I talk about how it feels and how terrible and how emotional I was. Not because I need to, because you need to hear it. You need to know that the suffering of an intersex person is bad and that you should want me to have human rights or everybody to have human rights. So I'm not doing it for me. So we'll do. So anyways, this person is now blocked on LinkedIn. Just so you know. And if anyone else does this, you're going to get blocked. Anyone who tries to tell me, once again, what the fuck to do, it's almost a guarantee to get blocked. Just telling you. So don't do that if you don't want to get blocked. I don't tell anyone else exactly what to do. I just tell why it's a good thing. You can choose to do it if not. But anyways, he said, Damien, quit bleeding all over the friends that never hurt you. And I said, that's not even a friend. Go on. Mm-hmm. Don't talk about my abuse. And your response to a person who's been fucking traumatized that you just read had been hurt it brutally as a child, your response is that I need to care about your needs, motherfucker? Oh, really?
It strikes me as rather odd that somebody would take that view of somebody discussing their abuse. Like, why would you think that it was aimed at you in that way? It doesn't make sense to me that, like,
Here,
unless,
don't read it. Don't read it. Did I tag your name? There's nobody tagged. I just put myself out there.
Did I hold your head in front of the computer so you had to read it without?
I just was like, at first I was going to go off, because that's generally, as a sociopath, my first response is meaner than fuck. And then I thought, no, Damien, you're not going to do that. That's not a good person. So I didn't do that. So then I probably just let it go. I was trying to let it go, oh, I can't let it go. I thought he's ignorant. He probably doesn't even know. He's probably even thinks that he's being helpful. But the master is trying to talk out of his mouth and tell Damien what the fuck to do. And that really, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to block it, because I need not to even deal with this. You're not going to be in my life. That's the new rule for Damien. I'm sick of arguing with people, because it just makes me more, tired. It's not that I can't win. It's just tiring, man. And why waste my effort, energy on that bull crap?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's like I was arguing with some people about an issue in the city. I can't remember the exact article I was arguing with them on, but they went to my Facebook page, searched through my pictures, found a picture they thought I looked dumb in, and then posted that and said, "This is a person who, your opinion is invalid because look at you." And I'm like, that was a lot of work because you didn't understand my argument, man. like, what kind of person does this?
A small person. A very, very small.
It's very strange.
Because to me, and I just like, there was one guy that said some fucked up shit to me in a private message. And also, by the way, he had also, before this, told me to stop talking so much about my abuse because people don't want to hear it. I thought, oh, you mean you don't want to hear it? And the master is telling me that I have to do, right? To make sure you're okay.
Right.
Yeah. You can imagine that my response is, he's now not longer my friend. And then, of course, he messaged me because my email is out to the world. And he, on my website, and he, of course, like you said, searched me, found, he had never emailed me in his whole fucking life. But
all went to a lot of work to be like, hey, man, you blocked me.
Blocked, and he said that. How dare you block me, just because, we have a disagreement. You violated my human rights, not giving a fuck and telling me to shut the fuck up almost. Yeah, I don't care what you call that, but that's not a friend to me.
Because you're the type of person who goes and searches out my email to email me about blocking you. That's why you're blocked. That's the kind of person you are.
Exactly. And he somehow, he's all like self-righteous and shit. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
I just wanted to like vomit. And then I was like, yeah, yep, let's see right there. Mm-hmm. And then he comes back again, all this more vomit stuff. I just let it go. Whatever, dude. You're done. Gone. I don't care. I'm so sick of wasting my time. I do care about the environment, and I'd rather care about that.
That's right.
And so another thing, too, I want to talk about is like anarcho-naturalism. A lot of anarcho-naturalism relates to naturalism in general, and naturalism also involves nudism. And there used to be a big association, especially in the 1900s. And I think 1920s, 1930s, 50s, 70s, whatever, a couple different ways. But I think that where they did nudism as a form of anarchism. I can tell you, as a nudism person, I mean, I lived at 2 different nudist resorts for a year each.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 different kinds too. By the way, that's another thing. There's like not only one kind of like nudist thing. There's like, let's just say there's 3 different classes in general, sort of. You could say there's naturalists, which are like almost like hippies and nature and probably vegans and or whatever. And the area that they do is almost like a refuge for animals. I mean, in a sense, you almost live like a indigenous person almost. I mean, it's way like wild in a sense.
That's interesting.
Right. So it's like living in the wild. It's very cool. I mean, it has its own thing. I didn't like some of the people because, of course, then they have lower rules, and they were having like this one guy was an actual terrorist,
Okay.
They told me, yeah, this when the FBI came and asked questions for terrorism. So they're so who they let in was, and the kind of terrorist was not like a good one that I would support. It wasn't like they said, oh, he's out, fighting, fascists or something like, oh.
Right, because sometimes they'll label anybody a terrorist.
That's what I'm saying. Well, Saudi Arabia would certainly call me a terrorist, and I don't know. Most people probably say I'm not, So, anyways, but so that's why I know that word could be all words really could be fucking used in a way
that's right,
inaccurate. But anyway, so this guy was, I would agree, he's a terrorist. I certainly wouldn't want this person, like, wow, this person was allowed to be here. Fucking scary. I can't remember, but it was like fucked up shit. I can't remember now what it was. Maybe it was hurt drinking water. Something fucked up, man. Like, what the fuck? I mean, it was like, holy shit. Fuck, this asshole was here. Anyways, so I was saying he was living in a tent. Because that's like at the naturist thing, they'll have RVs and they have maybe some homes. Usually not homes, but usually it's more like wild. Like everyone's sort of camping almost, which is cool. I mean, it's a different life, man.
For sure.
But and let me tell you something. You don't understand the lack of classism until you're a nudist, dude. It is so profound because it removes it in a way that you just have never experienced. Because everyone you talk to is equal. It's the most bizarre and awesome feeling. I love nudism. My wife is not she's a nudist, but she doesn't really like people. I like being around people a little more so. But yeah, to me, I love it, man. Because it is the social thing. I think it's such anarchist too. And it feels so good too when you go to a nudist resort, man. Even if you don't totally agree with everything that these people think, dude, everybody acts so freaking cool.
Is that right?
Oh man, it's way
interesting.
Compared to the regular society. Oh man, I'm telling you, dude, it is. There's no. I'm telling it is like almost living in an anarchist world. Where everyone there is like all radicals, dude. I mean, there's no non-radicals because they fucking naked. And the greatest thing is there won't be any non-radicals because hell, to get in there, you got to get naked. That right there is like a barrier. It's like kryptonite.
That there's a certain level of person that's never going in there.
You're not going to have real hard Bible thumpers coming in.
No, that's right. Yeah.
If they're Bible thumpers, they're also swingers probably because this is a different kind of
right.
Shit. So I could deal with that kind of Bible thumper.
Yeah. There's no hardcore Christian conservatives there.
No. So that's what I'm saying. In a sense, it's almost like a left world. Everyone accepts women. Everyone says gay. I'm not saying there's not bigots, please. I mean, this is
of course.
But
I'm sure capitalism is still a problem.
Well, no, it's still a problem. But it's less of a problem. Well, because they removed a whole class thing. So it really does. It's amazing when you really remove classism. When you start doing it really benefits, like, I don't know, everybody. Right. Starts feeling better. Everyone can operate more as a human. So anyway, so there's the nature one. Then there's one's called nudism. This is like considered a lot about families. So this is like hippie wild, sort of. This one's cleaner, like pools. Generally, is not. The other one's almost is like a lake or something I've been to,
okay.
or they'll do ponds, people swimming, or even animals, or they'll have a jacuzzi but still have a pond and stuff because that's natural. I'm not going to have not animals and ponds and alligators and whatever because you need to let it be wild.
Right.
You're living almost like I said, like you're indigenous. It's very cool. And they have a lot of bats, by the way, to keep the fucking mosquitoes down. Because let me tell you, when you're naked, it means that you have a lot of room for the mosquitoes to get you.
Yeah, I bet that would be
unless
uncomfortable.
You had some enjoyment of that, you understand why that probably is not a good thing. So a lot of friendly bats.
That's good.
Yeah, but that's another thing too. It reminds me of anarchism. Is like, how do you solve the bat problem without not bat problem? How do you solve the mosquito problem without pesticides and all this science and all?
Right.
Nature. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Well, how do you get nature? Put some bat houses and then they'll fucking come there.
Yeah. I know around here, if we have if the dragonfly population is good, then we have fewer mosquitoes.
Right. See, the same thing. And so what we should do is anarchist is try to help nature just do nature. I'm not saying we have to always invent 10,000 chemicals. Let's also think of the nature ways. Like, how can we, like, I don't know, not use chemicals, like you said, if we don't have to?
Yeah.
Or there's all kinds of things we can do. And systems, that goes back to mutualism, how I feel in general, which I know is not as big for some other anarchists, but is almost a guaranteed maximum for me. Because
there's like a lot of overlap.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not saying I like everything in mutualism either, but I do like, by the way, personally, for me, I like the idea of the mutualist bank.
Mm-hmm.
And because this is, I don't, some anarchists say get rid of the money. I mean, money's a concept. You can't get rid of a concept. It's a concept of value. If you think you can get rid of that, I'd like to see how you operate without the concept of value. But anyways, and this allows actually the value transfer to be easier with the concept of whatever you want to call money. So this is not inherently bad that we transfer value. Don't get confused. Money itself, the concept, is not bad. How we use it is bad. That's like saying a gun. Gun doesn't randomly go kill people. But if you have it in the hands of the wrong person and with the will to do it, it will kill people.
Yeah.
It's a tool. So to me, getting mad at the tool itself is bizarre to me. So to money, to me, is the tool. It's how it is used. It's the unethicalness and in a sense, like people, are below profit. That's the problem. The money, not the transfer of in a sense, value.
Yeah.
Because
like even if trade is fine.
Well, if a trade is still transfer of value, whether you call it in a sense. So yeah,
whatever method you happen to use.
So it's I don't like when people get this thing. And what I think we should have is ethical systems. That's the problem. We don't start our monetary system with, is it ethical? We start with system is, does it make wealth? Is it wealth producing, or is it benefit? And that says that a benefit is like, is it benefit for society? How about money that helps society? That would be a benefit, because think of this. Don't we need a transfer value to make a bridge or something? No matter how we do it, no matter if you call it money or not money. So unless you're an anarcho-primitive, right? You want to live where everything just destroys itself and you just live totally on land, which I've told you, I've kind of done. It's not that bad, really. But so I'm just saying, you need to fucking buck up. But life is actually not that bad, just being natural. I hate to break it to you. You go look at TV all day. Yeah, but have you tried to just sit on top of a mountain and look down? It's amazing. I've done it for hours, and it's beautiful, dude. You don't have to. I'm not saying that I'm not an anti technology. I think it's cool. I'd like to take a phone with me out to the mountains. But I'm going to actually spend time not on the phone. Just because I also value fucking nature. And I think that we've missed that, because there's I don't say this like in an esoteric, magical way, but there's a real healing to me when we go in an environment that's like nature. The reason why is phenomenological in our minds, okay? And what I mean by phenomenology is, like, when you look at a picture, you don't experience the picture as flat paper with colors of paint on it, do you? You picture it as a scene, as an emotional expression of the person's idea.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's phenomenology. So you're not experiencing colors on a flat piece. You're actually, sometimes it looks like depth, right? You physically or your mind thinks, oh, look, it's a beach, and you feel all good, and you think of water. There's no water. There's no beach. It's just blue color. You see what I'm saying? That's accurate. But our experience is a beach. Like, if I draw a picture of a window, you're going to feel like there's a window, even though there's no fucking window there.
Yeah.
But this is, you need to get this, people. I'm not saying stuff is important. The phenomenology is always happening. With words, like when people say a word and it offends you, that's still sort of the phenomenology, and not really that the words matter. Because words, in a sense, are just packets of ideas. So that's also why people say, how can people say things to Damien, and Damien's like, yeah, whatever. Because I hear what they are. You guys are throwing these numbers at like 5, 6, 7, 8, and I go, yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever.
Right.
You get to say, if you can emotionally remove yourself. The problem is we experience the words. We don't think about them.
Yeah.
Experience it phenomenologically. So like I said, we're constantly, people like think that, I guess one atheist told me, he's a philosopher, he goes, oh, that phenomenology bullshit, it's all fake. I'm like, no, it's our perception, so it could be an error. I don't know, fake is a weird word for phenomenology.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, are we in error of what's really happening? Yes. Would you call that fake? Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like you say, it depends on how you are meaning it, right? Like what you're
Well,
saying.
yeah, because think of it this: is PTSD the current actual state of reality that the person needs to feel, or are they feeling the past? If they're feeling the past, it's phenomenology. It's something
Right.
you are bringing an idea into your personal experience.
Well, and like you say, yeah, like all things are like that.
Well, that is what I'm saying. All things are. I'm just trying to use I'm not saying just PTSD.
Yeah.
I personally have
Right.
it. I'm not trying to put people down. I'm just making a classification that the world generally acknowledges that PTSD occurs, and the event the person is personally experiencing is not the actual outside world's presentation.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm trying to address. But
The emotional,
it happens that way all day long. The moment your eyeballs woke up until the time they closed, that was always happening. That's what I keep trying. You are always in the matrix of your own mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? You need to get that, because otherwise you're missing how to view things. And that's why I said you got to step back and look, of course, your environment. How can an anarchist say, especially a social anarchist, which I believe anyone that believes they're red and black should be, is that we see the world as all the classes. Well, trust me, thinking that somehow you are not in the environment is a form of classism. It's like white privilege, right? It's class privilege to think that you are somehow removed from nature. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What kind of bullshit thinking is that? Fantasy land, man. You are in nature. To think that we don't have some sort of obligation or responsibility is just flat out unethical to me. You do. You are here. What are you kidding me? Just like let's just say that you say, oh, no, I don't. There's nothing. I'm a capitalist. I don't. Okay. Do you not shit? Do you not piss? Where's that crap go?
Yeah.
Is that poisoning the environment, or does somebody care enough to put it somewhere that was safe? Why do we do that? Do we do that just for you or for everybody? Should we do it for just you, or should we do it for everybody?
How was society before we started doing that?
People got sick and died by the millions
Exactly.
because of disease and whatever. So
yeah,
and they just think that it's all goes back to being a good person. That's why I said to me that anarcho-capitalism, if you are that, drop that shit and go to something ethical. Even if you like it, dude, I like a lot of things. I would love to just be able to go up to every woman that I see that I'm attracted to, tell her let's have sex, that we go and we have sex, and I just go on my way again. That'd be just great, wouldn't it? That's not life. And should I get mad that women won't do that? No. Same way as you should not be just mad that the life is not the way you want. What you should do is be the candle of hope and show everyone how to make a difference.
Yeah.
And then you should go and be the difference.
I think I have to go.
All right.
I think that's
that was a great way to end on.
But yeah, I guess for myself, you can find my content at anywhere you look for The Mind of a Skeptical Leftist. I am on YouTube, Spotify, all the podcast places. And yeah. Thank you for chatting with me today, Damien.
Yeah. And I'm Damien at AtHope, and you can search me online. I got a website and blogs and YouTube, and all under my name. So
awesome.
Bye.
All right, where's the button?
It was good talk, man. I appreciate it always.
Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Damien Marie AtHope. In the simplest terms, I am an atheist, humanist, philosopher, and prehistorical writer-researcher at DamienMarieAtHope.com. I am specifically an axiological atheist. An axiological atheism can be thought to involve ethical and value theory reasoned and moral argument driven apatheism, Ignosticism, atheism, anti-theism, anti-religionism, secularism, and humanism. Axiological atheists can be understood as a value theory or a value science atheist. As an axiological atheism's ethically reasoned and constructive pro-humanity. I am an axiological thinker, value theorist. The science of goodness, worthiness, usefulness, valuableness, virtue, reliableness, accuracy, validity, morality, integrity, beneficialness, etc., etc. We axiologists have a value consciousness. And in general, we see the architecture of humanistic humanitarianism value in people that we see as dignity beings. Places and things are not. Axiology is a value theory. In its broadest sense, it involves areas of philosophy that are deemed to encompass some evaluative or evaluation aspect. Therefore, it crosses almost all domains in some way or another. Now for a more detailed terms as to what I am. I am an axiological atheist, an anti-theist, an anti-religionist, secularist, humanist, rationalist, writer, artist, poet, philosopher, advocate, activist, with schooling in psychology, sociology, as well as I am an autodidact, self-taught in science, archaeology, anthropology, and philosophy. I promote science and am against pseudoscience, pseudo-history, pseudo-morality, things that are found in religion. I support realism, axiology, of course, liberty, justice, ethics. I am also an anarchist socialist. I support anarchism and socialism, progressivism, liberalism, philosophy, psychology, archaeology, and anthropology, advocating for sexual, gender, child, secular, LGBTQIA+, race, class rights, and equality. So if you can guess from all that, I support or challenge that I have an eclectic variety of videos on a variety of topics. Please take time to check them out, as well as if you enjoy them, please give them a like. And don't forget to subscribe, as new things are on their way all the time for my channel.